Scattered throughout the coast of New England are a series of abandoned forts, once built to ward off invading forces, which now lie dormant. What used to be the first line of defense against encroaching naval forces are now old monuments, slowly succumbing to the elements, being retaken by nature, gradually decaying. Fort Wetherill in Jamestown is such a place. Fort Wetherill has its origins in 1776. A gun installation with 8 artillery fixtures was built on Dumpling Rock by American revolutionaries in an effort to push the Redcoats out of Newport. The gun battery quickly fell into British hands and remained with them until they evacuated the area in 1779. In 1798, an artillery encampment was officially constructed into a small fort of its own, known as Fort Dumpling. After that, not much happened at Dumpling Rock as the area saw no combat for the next century, and it served as a recreational gathering point for locals. In 1899, the construction of a new fort began due to rising tensions with some powers in Europe, requiring the destruction of Fort Dumpling. First completed in 1901, Fort Wetherill was situated atop a large cliff face with a view encompassing the entire mouth of the Providence River, an advantageous position to defend Narragansett Bay from opponents. The fortress initially had 2 guns pointed out to sea and was manned by 5 regiments of the Rhode Island National Guard. Throughout the following decades, the fort would see over 20 cannons come into service. Remnants of the battery emplacements can still be seen to this day. The interior of the fort can also be explored, with tracks on the ceiling used to transport ammunition still present, though in a state of disrepair. However, even during the war, the lack of incursion from Axis powers in New England waters showed that the fortress wasn't required, as there were multiple others in the area. So aside from German POW processing, the bunker went unused. Not even a year after World War II ended, the Army suspended operations and left the fort to rust. The once proud standing defender of the Providence River was abandoned, never to return to service again. From 1946 to 1972, the fort lingered, the empty gun placements becoming overgrown and concrete parapets slowly crumbling. In the early 1970s, Rhode Island bought the land and turned it into a national park, turning the land surrounding the old fort into hiking trails and picnic areas. The facility itself has lived a second life as an unofficial art museum. The dark and empty halls, once packed with weapons and armaments, are now coated with ornate graffiti from a myriad of unknown Da Vincis. Fort Wetherill, in the end, was an underutilized and mistreated vanguard of defense, left to rot by those meant to defend it. However, it has gained a new life and continues to be a staple of Rhode Island culture and a monument to its history.